What is up, everybody? I am so excited because of the recent change to rocket launcher. It may not have been a lot, but maybe it shows that the developers are interested in the class. And I have a bit of skin in the game when it comes to rocket launchers because historically they've been one of my favorite classes. If you haven't heard of me before, I go by Honest and I play Krunker daily and I stream at 12 to 4 every day of the week. If you don't know a lot about what I've done in the past, I've been playing competitive FPS games for over a decade, and for the purposes of this video, I'd like to point to my experience both in Team Fortress 2 as well as Overwatch, where I played at the Grandmaster level for the majority of my playtime. I mained Soldier and Pharah respectively, so it's safe to say I know my way around rockets. I'm extremely excited to see the changes to the rocket launcher. I think with a bit of tweaking, it could be a really exciting class to play and watch, and it's almost there. And when I was going through and I was playing with the rocket launcher, really just because of this change, I started to harken back to my time playing as Soldier in Team Fortress 2. I said, you know, it would be much better for me just to bunny hop around and one-shot people with my rockets, but then I'd start to use rocket jumps and I would find myself thinking, man, this would be so fun if this was the core movement of the class. And you know, I actually even went back to Team Fortress 2 for a little bit, and I'll put some clips in here of just playing with that rocket jump technique and having a blast, peeking over walls, jumping around corners, and just really confusing the enemy. And then I went through and I started doing bunny hopping maps on Team Fortress 2, where I was able to work on the skill of rocket jumping again and really enjoying my time. And I think that's something that we could pull into Krunker, you know, in a way that keeps the class fair. It adds verticality to the game, so no longer a player's just looking at one level and shooting at that level. They're looking up and down, and it's generally increasing in the skill and aiming of the player base, which is something that I think a lot of people would like. So overall, what changes would have to be made? I have 3 in mind. The first one, I think you should get rid of the pistol. Instead, add more rockets. That way, rocket jumping can really be a thing. I think in its current state, the mechanics for rocket jumping are already in the game. Now, with the added rockets, we don't want all this one-shotting going on. We've actually been increasing the amount of one-shotting mechanics in the game, which I've said in other videos may not be the best direction, but we could reduce the damage, and much like Team Fortress 2, require hitting a target twice, either gibbing the target, which is a TF2 term for the most part, which just means directly hitting them, or hitting close to them would do enough damage. Now, to make that fair, we'd have to increase the splash radius slightly and the damage on that splash, which would make for some interesting clips where someone gets 2, maybe 3 kills at a time. There could be a tiny increase just for the Rocketeer's class of the air strafing potential. That way, when you're going up in the air, you have the ability to move left and right a bit more, and it may make for some more interesting rocket jumps that right now don't feel possible. I'm thinking in particular on Berg, where you can jump through the entire alleyway almost with just a little bit more air strafing. Overall, I think it'd be really interesting if you could use some of these double rocket jumps that I'm showing and then still be able to shoot. That would be my ideal version of the Rocketeer. It's primarily made for people looking to master the art of rocket jumping and, of course, use projectile weapons. That's all I have for today, guys. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe. It would help me a lot. Bye.